Have you ever stopped to wonder how healthy your community is? Apparently, there's a lot that goes into being healthy, and US News has crunched the data. They compiled a list of the 500 healthiest communities in the US, and out of those, Illinois had 16 counties placed in the top 500 and 2 counties in the top 100. In this video, we're taking a look at the top 10 healthiest counties in the state of Illinois. Number 10, Grundy County. In this report, there were 10 categories that were reviewed: population health, equity, education, economy, housing, food and nutrition, environment, public safety, community vitality, and infrastructure. Out of those, the 3 areas where Grundy County did the best were food and nutrition, public safety, and environment. For the food and nutrition category, they found that there are 3.9 local food outlets for every 100,000 people. They also have a diabetes rate of 8.8%, which is below the national median of 10.4%, and the obesity rate, while still pretty high at 33.4%, is below the national median. For the environment category, Grundy County had a drinking water violation rate that is less than half that of the national median. They also found that 68% of the residents live within a half mile of a park. As for public safety, the violent crime rate is 101.4 per 100,000 people, which is less than half that of the national median. This all helps Grundy County place in the 412th spot nationally. Number 9, Tazewell County. Nationwide, Tazewell County came in at number 385. The areas where they performed best were infrastructure, equity, and housing. For the infrastructure category, they found that 98.8% of the residents have access to broadband internet, which is above the national median of 96.7%. The county also has a high walkability index score of 8.5, and very few workers have to commute 60 minutes or more. Under the equity category, US News said that they assessed income, education, health, and social equity of each county to determine which ones afforded the opportunity to live a productive, healthy life. They found that in Tazewell County, the racial disparity in education attainment was 0.08, compared to the national rate of 0.16. Tazewell County also scored well in the premature death disparity index and the segregation index. Under the housing category, the data found that the county residents are able to find affordable living situations. Only 19.4% of the residents spend more than one-third of their income on housing, and it takes 40.3 work hours to pay for housing. Number 8, Clinton County. The 3 categories in which Clinton County excelled were infrastructure, public safety, and food and nutrition. The report says that under the infrastructure category, 100% of the residents have access to broadband internet. They also scored 6.6 in the walkability index. However, they got marked down for 8.5% of workers having to commute an hour or more. Under public safety, they scored slightly below the national median in per capita spending on health and emergency services and public safety professionals in the population, but their violent crime rate is only 147.7 per 100,000 people, which is less than half that of the national median. As for food and nutrition, they have 2.7 local food outlets per 100,000 people, a diabetes rate of 8.9%, and an obesity rate of 34.5%, which are all better than the national rates. This puts Clinton County at number 370 nationally. Number 7, Lake County. Located next to Lake Michigan, this is a county where the rich people go to live, so it's not all that surprising that they would have the means to be healthy. They ranked 278th out of the country. The categories where they did the best were the economy, population health, and infrastructure. The median household income is $30,000 more than the national median, and the poverty rate is about half that of the national rate. As for population health, the uninsured rate is better than the national rate, as is the smoking rate of 12.8%, and the life expectancy for residents is 81.6 years. Under infrastructure, the percentage of residents with access to broadband internet is 99.5%, and the walkability index score was 10.0. However, the number of workers who have to commute an hour or more was higher than the national rate at 12.2%, so that cost them a few points. Number 6, McHenry County. Another of the northern suburban counties, McHenry County ranked 216th nationally. This was thanks to high scores in the categories of economy, public safety, and food and nutrition. Under economy, this was once again due to having a median household income that is considerably higher than the national median at $85,853, as well as a low poverty rate. They do have a slightly higher unemployment rate, though. Under public safety, they listed 95.7 violent crimes for every 100,000 people, which is typical for affluent areas. They spend $634 per capita on health and emergency services, which is quite a bit higher than the national spending rate, and they have more public safety professionals as well. As for food and nutrition, the residents have plenty of access to healthy foods because there are 5.5 local food outlets for every 100,000 people. They also have better than average diabetes and obesity rates. Number 5, Piatt County. Coming in at number 170 for the nation, Piatt County got high marks for infrastructure, public safety, and food and nutrition. 99.4% of the residents can access broadband internet, the walkability score is above average at 6.3, and only 2.7% of workers commute an hour or more. Under public safety, they have a violent crime rate of 167.2 per 100,000 people, and they spend quite a bit more than average on health and emergency services at $874 per capita. They also have more public safety professionals than the national median. As for food and nutrition, they have 6.1 local food outlets per 100,000 residents, and they scored better in diabetes and obesity than the national median. Number 4, Kendall County. This is another one of the rich suburban counties, so they scored high in the economy category, with a median household income of $92,377 and a poverty rate of only 4.3% compared to the national median of 13.6%. They also scored high in public safety due to having a violent crime rate of 103.8 per 100,000 people, as well as a per capita spending rate of $454 on health and emergency services, and for having a 1.27% rate of public safety professionals. Under food and nutrition, they received high marks for having more local food outlets than the national median, as well as for having better diabetes and obesity rates. This gives Kendall County a national ranking of 164. Number 3, Woodford County. Scoring the 158th spot nationally, Woodford County was ranked high in the categories of infrastructure, public safety, and housing. Under infrastructure, 99.7% of the residents have access to the internet, only 2.6% of workers commute a long distance, and the walkability index was even with the national median. As for public safety, this county has a violent crime rate of 74.8 per 100,000 people, which is way below the national rate. However, they don't spend quite as much on health and emergency services, and they have fewer public safety professionals. This is a really small county though, so that's kind of expected. Under housing, they found that only 19.8% of the households have to spend more than 30% of their income to keep a roof over their heads, which is better than the national median of 22.8%. Number 2, Monroe County. Monroe County is home to quite a few people who commute to and from St. Louis for better paying jobs, which helps them score higher in the economy category. The median household income is well above both state and national averages at $93,666. They also have a lower unemployment rate than the national median, as well as a low poverty rate of 3.1%. Monroe is the only county in the top 10 to score high in the community vitality category. This was for having a homeownership rate of 84.9%, a voter participation rate of 80.5%, and for having a net migration rate of 5%. The state of Illinois is known for people leaving, but this is one county where people are actually moving in. The third category where they scored well was public safety. This is one of the safest counties in the state, with a violent crime rate of 32.6 per 100,000 people. They also spend more than average on health and emergency services, with a per capita rate of $559. This all helped Monroe County snag the 58th spot nationwide. Number 1, DuPage County. The areas in which DuPage County excelled were in economy, education, and infrastructure. This county is one where the more affluent people tend to be, so the high score is expected. The report found that 57.5% of the adult residents have a college degree, compared to the national rate of 30.6%. The reason there are so many college graduates is that quite a few of the residents work in some specialized fields. 11% of the workforce falls under the industry labeled professional, scientific, and technical services, and 7% work in finance and insurance, both of which are usually well-paying, so the median household income of $90,542 is significantly higher than the national median, which is why DuPage County scored so well in the economy category. Under infrastructure, 99.6% of the residents can access internet, and they have a high walkability rate. However, they do have quite a few commuters, with 12.4% of the workforce traveling for more than an hour to work. All of these things combined place DuPage County at number 52 for the country. As a bonus, since you've made it this far, here are the other Illinois counties that made the list. If you live in any of these counties, do you think that they're healthy places? Let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I remain stuck in the cornfield.